Another tweet here that could easily stir the hornet's nest comes from Kunama.
You know what Kunama means, right?
Well, of course.
Scorpio. Scorpio in Hausa.
Yeah, of course. As a matter of fact, his Twitter handle is @Scorpion.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Well, the Scorpion
there's
says
a bite there somewhere, or a sting.
Jaga and his team are not serious. One card reader can't be used to demonstrate to 60 polling officials, and then you expect efficiency. So what he's saying essentially is that maybe in the process of a training, you use one card reader and then you demonstrate its how it works, its workings, to about 60 different people, and then you expect results different from what we saw on the day of the polling.
Is that what they were doing? If that's what they were doing, then that's...
Well,
if that's the process that they use to train their staff.
We have to be in tandem with dynamism of technology, right? We need just to move away from our old ways of doing things. So as far as people like me are concerned, I mean, this is the first time we are using it, right? And this is the first time when we conducted the pilot test, the percentage was high compared to what we are seeing now. You know, I think what we just need to do, like we have just said, we have lessons learned, but we may not be able to perfect or fix things between now and the 11th of.
Are you talking about the use of the card reader?
Yeah, the card reader.
I think he's talking about the fact about training and using insufficient number of tools, right? I think that's what I
thought the number of card readers.
No, he's talking about at the point of training the INEX staff.
Yeah,
insufficient.
You use one card reader to demonstrate to 60 INEC officials. How could they have, or how will they get the hang of it? You know,
I'm not sure that was what happened.
No,
that's what he's saying.
Let me just read it again. Jaga and his team aren't serious. One card reader can't be used to demonstrate to 60 polling officials, and then you expect efficiency.
Of course not. They'll have to practically be taught and be put to the paces.
And we don't really know whether that is what happened.
Some weeks ago, when we conducted the pilot test, I mean, when we conducted the pilot test, to the best of my knowledge, I mean, we had like 2 or 3 card readers.
For how many people?
Well, I think they had like 200 people per polling booths, right?
No. We're missing the point.
We're talking about the training.
The
training of
not the voting officers. Yes. Polling officers.
The training of the officers.
But then again,
you use one card reader and then 60 polling officials.
But
ahead of the deployment.
Where did Scorpio get his information from?
I actually want to assume that this person might actually be a polling official himself.
But we don't know.
We don't know that.
We don't know. We don't know that for sure.
That was what happened.
No. Let's give Scorpion benefit of the doubt.
The benefit of the doubt that he knows what he's talking about.
If indeed that was the case, that's
bad.
Not good enough, huh? Okay. So.
All right. Another tweet coming in from Abdullah Mukhtar Aliyu. It says, "Our democracy is developing. It's time to integrate into the debate how the diaspora can vote going forward." Well, I'm sure he must have tweeted this right after we had this conversation with Maria Bird. Correct. How Nigerians in the diaspora can actually be integrated into the voting process.
It would be remiss of us for that not to happen, because of the importance of Nigerians living abroad to the economy of the country. So they should have a say. However that's going to work out in practical terms, then that's up to INEC. And how soon that can happen as well is up to INEC, but it should become policy.
Yeah, but
because of the volume, the number of people living abroad,
but beyond
is too great a number to ignore.
Beyond their numbers and the sort of economic value that they bring to bear on our country, I actually think, because these are people who've had examples of how it is done in other places, they tend to have a raised bar in terms of their expectations. And so I think their participation in local politics can only be a good thing, because they'll force people to raise their game. So even if just on that basis, I think it is something that, yes, definitely should be looked at. And in any case, as Nigerians, what you should be looking for is to protect the rights of every Nigerian to exercise, their civic responsibility if they choose to do so, regardless of where they reside. And so on that basis, again, I think they should be allowed to vote.
Between now and 2019, I will not be surprised if that is integrated, and it's something that will be considered. But also, when you have the Nigerians in diaspora, look at the level of exposure and education there. It's just like what happened with JAM, when they just introduced CBTs. Many people couldn't write. Many people couldn't use the... No.
What's a CBT?
Computer-based test. For JAM. There were so many people that complained, because when you look at the villages, we had people in secondary school who didn't really know how to use even the mouse. But between now and 2019, I think it's a good time frame, a reasonable time frame to have, such systems or such strategies introduced or integrated in our election system.
Honestly, I think what the big, sorry, go on.
I think it will flow naturally from when we adopt electronic voting. I think it'll be much easier to implement. And which brings me back to the point of electronic voting. You know that there are still, when Charles, when you were talking about it, there are still those who believe that the electoral laws as they presently exist do not permit for electronic voting, that there are matters in court at the moment that, so when we talk about electronic voting and why it has not been implemented, there are those who are of the view that the Electoral Act actually outlaws it. I really
is that so? Is that so?
I don't know. You're the lawyer. What's your interpretation?
I don't know. Does it outlaw it?
I don't know where those cases stand at the moment, right?
Okay.
And if the matter is in court at the moment, I would leave it as it is. I would leave it as it is. But it would take a closer reading of the section. I forget the section now. To take a closer reading of the section, which is why I was mentioning previously that it appeared to me that the Electoral Commission stopped short at just card reader for the purposes of accreditation, and they have tried to make a distinction between accreditation
and voting.
The process of voting itself.